Minna. How are you all doing? Good to see you all today. Thanks for coming on in. I'm a bit late today because I was up all night grinding this freaking game, grinding Exos Heroes, and then don't get me started. Oh man, so Exos Heroes, right? If we think we got a bad on Genshin pity, like, oh man, 90 for pity, 180 for guaranteed pity, 280 on Exos Heroes, 280 for guaranteed pity. There is no soft pity, just 280. You want the character you want, and you don't get him. 280 pulls. It's gonna take you to get pity. So, the Tales of Vesperia collab started, and I was like, well, come on, Genshin. I was like, well, I guess I'll start pulling for it. So I was playing and pulling and playing and pulling. I went to pity. I had to do 28 10 pulls to get Yuri, and I got in with about 10 minutes left on the banner. I had to whale the last 2 10 pulls, but everything else did free to play, which is cool. But oh my god, that was a nightmare. 28. That's so many. That's so many to like get the character I wanted. But I did. Take more pulls to max them. Yeah, if I want to max, I gotta pull 4 more. You gotta do. It's got a limit break system, so you can get them up to level 90. Each time you pull them again, you could level them up twice more. So you can eventually get them to level 100. So if I want to max them, I've got to pull that character 5 times. 5 times? 6 times. 6 times I got to pull them. Which I ain't doing. I was like, I'll get 1 and I'm happy, and that's it. That'll do me. I'll go Yuri. Good. Just for that. But it means I didn't get a chance to pull for his weapon, because you need his weapon too. I think you've only got to pull a weapon once though, which is very backwards to most games. Normally it's pull the character once and the weapon a bunch of times. Now it's like the weapon once. So, but I didn't get a chance to do that because I spent all my 10 pulls on the character. I got a bunch of other really good characters while I was pulling those, but it's not terrible. Like, it's not bad. I still did 28 10 pulls, and that's like good, right? Got to turn the music back on. So it's not terrible, but it's like at the same time, oof, it hurt. It hurt. I was like 20 minutes left on the banner. I have no other way. I got stuck in the story. I'm on a stick point where like there's a boss that's really hard, and a lot of people get stuck there. It's like a wall. So I couldn't get any further. So I couldn't grind story like premium currency. So I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? Oh no, what do I do? So oh well. But I had to wait a last second. I'm gonna quickly change my artifacts. So I was doing some tinkering. So I've got all of Bennett's artifacts on. I'm gonna switch them back. Crimson? No. I want to switch them back with your boy Bennett. Where's your boy? Maybe I took the venti one. Oh no, I didn't. Am I blind, chat? There we go. Switch. Lava Walker. Switch. Lava Walker. Switch. This one was a venti switch, wasn't it? It was a venti switch. Switch. Pyro Walker. Lava Walker, sorry. And then this one was also Lava Walker, done it. Yeah, I got forced that one. Not a very good one, but it'll do. Cool. Need to pop back into Genshin. Hey, Astra, how you doing? Do it! It's so good. Like, I'm very biased because I play the game almost every day. But, it's very good. Hu Tao is the new character, and she is very cute, and she's very cool. And she can randomly turn on fire, and that's always great. If you haven't played since launch, there is a ridiculous amount of new content for you to do. There's a heap of story missions. There's the whole new area, the Dragon Spine area. There's multiple new weeklies. There's a lot of stuff for you, which is great. That's awesome. Speaking of stuff, we're going to burn today's resin in the usual way. She's so cute. Oh my god. Just wait. She does like dances and stuff. Like, let me pull up her dance. Let me get rid of me because I'm in the way of this cute girl. It might be easier to do this one. She should just break in a dance. Oh, no, that's the other one. This is also cute. And then she dances for the other one. The dance is the best. It's much funnier in Japanese. In Korean, it was a bit disappointing. I haven't listened to it in English yet. Hopefully she starts dancing soon. Yeah. She's so cute. She also runs a funeral parlor, so she's really creepy. She's like, とっても怖いよ。怖いすぎるから。でも、かわいそう。かわいそう isn't a thing. Like, we know that they're cute. It's not like look cute, they are cute. かわいです。かわいそう doesn't grammatically work. That's like 怖いそう doesn't work either. She's very cool. She's very cool. So we're trying to grind her at the moment and level her up. She only came out 2 days ago and we got really lucky. Got her straight away without spending any money, which is like rare. I was like, I'll take it. But we need to grind this new boss. Oh yeah, there's a new boss as well. This boss is new. We're going to cheese it because I have Zhongli and Ganyu, so I can cheese him. You can't really do a whole lot when you're elevated, so you can just do this. And he'll make it vanish with his attack though. That's fine. 5 frames with that. Alrighty, should be almost time. Oh. Alright, cool, we're shielded. That Zhongli shield is so strong. My lord, it's so good. Just 8 hits. Alright, we'll just do some more shooting here. Some easy deeps because Ganyu's DPS is still stupid. Anyway, we got the Hu Tao and we got her 5-star weapon as well straight away. Really lucky. So, we're like, well, I should level her up and make her my main DPS because I have her 5-star weapon, which is very rare for me to. I only have one other 5-star weapon. But it means we're also pulling on the weapon banner for the rest of this panel. What have you been streaming or what have you been playing in that case, I guess, Astro, if you've not been playing the Genshins? Some other stuff, I imagine, no doubt. Or maybe you're taking a break, that's fine too. Ah, yeah, that was bad. It didn't work. Yeah. Chiga. Demo, stay free. Got it. Yeah. What we got? We got 2 or 3. 2. Tons of 14. Oh, I need to, like, 14 is the MMO I want to have time for somehow. Such a good game. Such a good game. In every way. It's just great. But like, oh, time. Okay. Let's go back to her real quick. Hu Tao. Kara. I'm out of money, that's right. I'm like broke. So I might need to do, let's see. Let's do a experience leyline. And then we can do requests and get money that way. Or like bounties. Maybe bounties may also work. It's so good. Like, I need to find time. I haven't played since like end of Stormblood launch. So I've skipped the whole expansion basically, which is good. It gives me heaps to do. Much like yourself with Genshin, you have heaps to explore. 14, same for me. I have heaps to explore. Heaps and heaps and heaps and heaps. And heaps. And you know, a bunch of classes to level up and all that stuff. There's so much to do. I am okay with content for days. Content for days. Much like in Genshin, content for days. So much for me to do in this. Oops, wrong character. Like, I play every day and I'm still nowhere near maxing out, like, every character, let alone any character. Ah, Heaven's Ward. Heaven's Ward is like I played ARR and then I skipped Heaven's Ward with a jump pass, so I kind of missed Heaven's Ward, so it's like, oh man. Part of me wants to roll a new character and just start over from the start. And I'm not against it. Like, I might do that. What about Ginty? Hard step. Yes, sorry. Don't let me keep you, please. Go have fun. Go play games. But thanks for coming in. And yeah, when you're done, feel free to pop in and say hi. I won't be on for too long tonight because I got to make a video. Because my YouTube shorts about Hu Tao are doing surprisingly well, which is catching me off guard. Didn't expect that. Like, really well. I was like, what the? Yeah. Alright, cool. Let's do another one here. Just up there. And then I'll do bounties, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, gacha games suck up all your attention. I know this. That's why I'm playing 2 at the same time. That's why I'm playing 2 at once. And if my phone was working properly, I have a phone mount, I'd play 3 at once. Because I'm one of them kind of people. I was like, no, optimize time. Gotta play them all, same time. Oh, whoops. That's fine. Optimal. No, not optimal. I lied. Optimal. Oh, I gotcha. Waking up a coffee and chilling there, fair. Oh man, coffee would be so good. I've got a tea here. I could go a coffee. I did an all-nighter yesterday. Grinding freaking Exo Zeros. I stayed up all night to grind it. To get the limited time pull. And then I also made a video. And then I stayed up because I had classes this morning. And it was my first Korean class. And I had to, you know. I did not want to miss that because I need to practice my Korean. It's very hard. But very rewarding, very fun. Now I can do some basic Korean stuff. 例えば, I can be like, you know, 안녕하세요. 저는 브라디예요. 모나시 대학교에서 1학년밖에 공부해요. Which says basically, it's nice to meet you. I'm Brad. I study Japanese at Monash University. Is what that basically said. Which is a start. It's a start. Interesting. Korean's so hard to pronounce compared to Japanese. 日本語のイントネーションが簡単だと思いますね。でも韓国語のイントネーションが少し難しい。Because it's got a lot of sounds that like in English we don't use. It's like it's hard. Intonation in Korean is so much harder. But we're getting there. We're getting there. At least coffee is easy. Coffee in Japanese is kohi. Coffee in Korean is like a kope. That said, learning to read Korean was easy. Learn that today. But I need to learn to read it fast. That's the hard part, which I cannot do yet. And that will take me some time. Oop. That will take me some time. But, you know, those who know me here know that I find language fascinating. So I'm looking forward to learning more Korean. In some ways, it's because it's just a borrowed word. Like, borrowed words are always going to be similar. Like, banana in Japanese is banana. In Korean, it's like also banana. But to get the same, pronounce the same. And just spells banana because loan words. It's a lot of that. But of course, not always. But then when you get the weird ones, like for example, like, you know, in Japanese, like Nihongo de dog wa inu. Like it's inu for dog. And park is koen. So you're like, oh, dog park. Inu no koen. No, dog park. It's like, what? There's a lot of that. And it's like, why? Why not inu koen? No, dog park. But dog and park have their own words in Japanese. No, dog park. Nazeka. Majid. No reason. Just is. Dog park. No character skins yet. You know they're gonna do it. Like Mihoyo's other game, Honkai Impact, the Weather of Impact on title, does do skins. We know that they're gonna introduce skins in this. There is wings, so like you can choose your wings, and the wings you can only earn. You can only earn the wings. You can't. There's none you can buy. That's a PS4 only one. There's no way to get it on this account. I don't think so. Oh well, but you know, no doubt it's coming. Like no doubt it's coming. No doubt. Definitely gonna bring a skin mechanic in. Oh no, I need to do because I'll do commissions because they give money too. And we can do some pulls and try and get a lithic spear. I've had requests for Hu Tao of like things to make. Like, can you make a video about prototype star glitter? Can you make a video about lithic spear? And you know, I'm gonna try. Given that my second Hu Tao, like on TikTok, my first Hu Tao video got like 8,000 views, which is huge for me. That's massive. It's the biggest I've had by like, you know, ridiculous amount. And then my one from yesterday is sitting at like 500, which is pretty good. posting in a Hu Tao big face stream. I'm loving my like live streaming current pictures. Just like, let me make some dumb photo of like the close up of someone's face each day. Just like, hi Hu Tao, hi Bennett, hi Gunyu. And yeah, on YouTube shorts, and my shorts, you know, will get anywhere from like 100 to 500 views, but sometimes it'll be like 6 weeks after the fact. Whereas like my first one got like 300, my second one sitting at like 800, and that went out less than 24 hours ago. So I'm just like, sick. People want that Genshin Hu Tao content. I see big face, I click stream. That's the idea. Hey, no, Omega, good to see ya. Welcome back, as always. Good to have you around. So that's why stream's gonna be a little bit shorter, because I need to make a short tonight. And like, I spend a fair bit of time on my shorts. People are like, oh yeah, it should take you, you know, like, what, half an hour to make a short? I'm like, no, it takes me like 3-4 hours, because I add motion graphics and I script them out and I gotta record footage and like I make new footage every time and just want to keep it interesting. So it takes a fair bit of time for me to make a short, but it's not daunting. Playing Duel Links, oh nice. How's Duel Links going? Like for me, a 1-minute video is not daunting compared to like I gotta make a 10-minute long form video. That's daunting as heck. Uni's going really well. I'm officially done with my first week of classes. I've got some homework to do tomorrow, but classes are done. And I was really worried about Korean because the first week of lessons was really like online lessons were mega daunting, but the first actual class was like really easy. I was like, oh good, because I pushed so hard, thinking it was gonna be ultra daunting. I was like, I need to learn all of Hangul now, and I need to learn greetings now, and all that. And they're like, we're going to cover Hangul in a really basic way today, and we're not going to touch final consonants until later. I'm like, oh, thank God. It's actually not that bad. That's fine. That's fine then. I'm okay with that. So I was like, sick. I felt a lot more comfortable after today's class. But there's still some interesting stuff I've got to, like, you know, really get down pat. Practice makes perfect, though. TC, I worked in a trading when I was 14, because I'm 33 now. I'm a bit older. When I was 14, I worked in a trading card store for like a couple of years. Back when Yu-Gi-Oh was like not busted like it is now. Well, no, it was busted in different ways. Back when Change of Heart was a legal card. Like, you know, I was playing those days. Like, you know, Yatagarasu, I win. Like Yada locking and stuff. So the game was broken in different ways. I know how much it costs. I have half a Light Sworn deck and then gave up because it was like $500 to get the whole deck and like $150 in. Like, what am I doing? And it just didn't get the rest. Didn't sell it. I think it's long, like it's lost. It's gone. If I ever find it, it'd be cool. Like, yo, Light Sworn deck. Proxy the rest of it, but you know. I'm aware how much it can cost. But hey, if you've got a really good deck in the end, if you've got a good deck and you're winning games and you can make it back somehow, it's fine. And are you having fun? If you're having fun, it's worth it. It's worth it. You can spend your money on whatever you want, as long as A, you're having fun, and B, not hurting anybody. Ain't getting yucky yum. You do you. You do you, mate. You do you. Like, I've spent plenty of money on Shadowverse over the years. Plenty of money. Although I can't, like, all my decks are like rotted out now because of timing. But I've definitely spent a fair bit. Duel Links I didn't get into, but I was curious about it for sure. Yeah, fair. Yeah. Allow me to reiterate, I worked in a trading card game store for years. I know exactly what you're talking about. Don't worry. I know exactly what you're talking about. Oh yeah. I played, like, I was back, you know, only a few sets out. People were like, you know, when did you play Yu-Gi-Oh? My response is always, yeah, when Change of Heart was still legal. And people were like, how long ago was that? And I'm like, yeah, like 20 years. I'm like, oh wow. Which also makes me realize, holy crap, Yu-Gi-Oh has been out for a long time. That just dawned on me then. Yu-Gi-Oh's been out for freaking ages. I could probably not 14, it was like maybe like 16, 17 I was working in the class. So I don't know. It's been out for a while. But I remember, like, you know, when I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh, you were still able to buy first edition. You were able to get first edition booster packs of, like, initial sets. Which is the other way I could put it. I'm like, oh yeah, I could buy, like, first edition cards. Which would be worth a fair bit, like, a fair bit these days, but, you know. Some of those first editions probably go for a pretty penny. I had some really cool promo Red Eyes Black Dragons from like Shonen Jumps from that era, which would be worth a lot now, but I can't find them. They're gone. Local man, the scent was very pungent. Yeah, it happens. It's going back. Yeah, played through back in high school. Yeah, I'd like adjudicated, but I didn't have a deck. I just like used other people's decks. I was more into the Dragon Ball Z card game at the time, and Yu Hakusho card game I played a lot, and Magic. And Magi Nation, which I'm sure none of you know. It's a very old game, Western-made game. The owner of the card shop I worked at was one of the founders of it. It was actually a really freaking cool card game, Magi Nation, and it turned into it had a couple cool things about it. It's a very cool card game, very interesting systems, if I recall correctly. But yeah, it died, of course. Yeah, anime rules. Anime rules. I play Blue Eyes Black Dragon. I'm the best. It's like, no, it's not how it works. Trust me, when you are adjudicating tournaments, and you get players that come in with anime rules, and you're like, no, that's not how it works. Get that first edition Blue Eyes? Yo, I had one. I definitely had one back in the day. One other person clerk in high school. Oh, interesting. You know, I had a bunch of Magi Nation stuff. Because, yeah, one of my bosses, or the owner of the card shop, was one of the founders of the game. So, we had, like, you know, like the really busted, because there are a couple of ultra busted cards that you could have. But if he signed, but they only worked if he signed them, or like they no longer worked if he signed them, or something like that. There was like some stupid cards like that you could get. It was an interesting time, TCGs. I played a lot of Legend of the Five Rings back then, back when like one game took like 5 hours. Your lore list. Yeah, do it. Magi Nation's interesting. The card store shut down overnight. I went to work one day and then like everything was gone and like the owner did a runner. So that was interesting. He just gone. He used to be a lawyer, so we assume he went back to America just to go be a lawyer again. But he literally vanished overnight. Just gone. Just gone. It was freaking weird. I normally never hit that dunk. I'll take it. Yeah, that was a Yu Hakusho card game. I was actually one of the better players of that in the country. But that game became busted after third set. After third set, there were too many one-turn win decks, so the game died real quick. It was mega fun, though. That was the game I loved playing. It had like a 3 or 4 character tag system. They all had 4 points. I played a Rokyokai deck, which was really cool. It was all about like tagging back and forth. It was mega fun. The first expansion that came out was a Dark Tournament expansion, and that's when I got into it real serious and was like winning tournaments and stuff from time to time. Not often, but you know, I was one of the better players in the country at that point. The one I knew the most about was the Dragon Ball Z card game, because I lived with one of the country and one of the world's best players for years of the Dragon Ball Z card game. He won a bunch of stuff, but back then, you didn't win much money in those games. In fact, you won very little money. You won lots of cards, though. So he'd come back, like, he had, like, every card freaking 10 times over, because you keep winning booster boxes. You're winning more and more booster boxes, but there's no money in it. Not back then. No money in it at all. Like, not a dime. It was an interesting time. Harry Potter card game. I don't know if there was a Harry Potter card game. Definitely some interesting card games out there. Somewhere in my garage, I have a full unopened, and this is gonna be hilarious. Somewhere in my garage, I just remembered then, I have a full unopened booster box of, because I got it for like $1 because it was hilarious in the card shop when it was closing down. Like, because we found out it was closed, like, it closed down overnight, but the stuff that was remaining, there was like one guy left and just like, we sold a couple bucks. But yeah, I got a whole booster box unopened of the Saddle Clad trading card game. Because of course there was a Saddle Clad trading card game. And yeah, I have like an entire unopened booster box of that, like sealed somewhere in the garage. Who wants it? Who wants the Saddle Club card game? I remember the card game being absolutely horrible. Like it was really bad. But I have it. Wait, did I not do all my expeditions correctly? Did I not pick up? I didn't pick up the Leo one. Dude. Got written up in AFR mentioned Senate inquiry. Yeah, fair. The Dark Tournament was great. Dark Tournament. There is a reason why the tournament arc exists in anime, and it is because of the Yu Yu Hakusho Dark Tournament arc. I still believe to this day the Dark Tournament arc is like the pioneer of anime tournament arcs. Stevie and Veronica. I can't remember. Yeah. There are a lot of weird card games out there, and yeah, Saddle Club was one of them. The card game I was working on, or the cards I was working on, got into it real hard for a bit, but then perhaps unsurprisingly, it absolutely bombed. Like, it bombed hard. So I was like, oh well, never mind. Been on Dimension Versus I played for a while. The card game shut down long before like Vice Vorts and like Vanguard and Force of Will, which I played for a bit. I've got some Force of Will cards. Actually in my set behind me, you can't really see it, but I have the Force of Will Day 1 promo. I actually still have that card in a top loader behind me somewhere. On there, we are going to... Now we have a bit more money. We can do a bit more leveling. Can do more... Do those. Right. And, we're not gonna have enough. We can't ascend today, unfortunately. Damn it. That's right, though. Unless I want to spend money on resin, but I'm not gonna do that. I'd rather spend money on weapons. Oh, that wasn't worth it, was it? It's fine. We can do bounties, though. So we'll do some bounties. That'll get us a bit more cash, as we are cash strapped now. Cash strapped and resin strapped. That's okay, though. It's to be expected. Hand fisted, lots of money pits and tears, yeah. But you got, yeah, that's very true. Like, people were like, we can sell anything. And, like, the benefit of that is you could get these weird things, like the Saddle Club trading card game. 30k. Invulnerable to physical, takes increased elemental. Perfect. My favorite kind of bounty, because these are often the fastest. I need to do my next Zebsteiner in Excelsiorus. Okay. Righty. Dun, 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 dun. What have you all been up to today? What are your weekend plans, chat? I know it's not weekend technically yet, but for me it is. I only have classes on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. I got really lucky with my class scheduling and was able to condense it to 3 days. I could have condensed it to 2 days, but it meant I would have had to have gone on campus. So I was like, yeah, nah, I'm okay with 3 days. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I do readings. I need to do some readings tonight too, actually, as well. Today is Thursday night, and normally I reserve Thursday for reading my first subject. I do like 1 reading a day from Thursday to Sunday. So today is I think is my Korean language and culture reading. Go by car tomorrow. Nice. Starts uni. What are they going to be studying at uni, if I may ask? You guys will just not tell me if that's like too personal. Enjoy the car. Ruin Hunter left this track. Sure did. Man, remember this quest back when the game first started? Pepperidge Farms remembers. Okay. Alright, tomorrow for me is work and then readings and study. Practice. Have to practice. If you want to practice language, by the way, whether it is Nihongo to Hankokugo, like Japanese or Korean, Discord has a good place, or mine has for both of those. Japanese linguistics with a Chinese minor. Interesting. So for me, it's actually kind of similar to my degree. Mine is a Japanese and Asian studies major. I was tempted to do linguistics, but I was like, yeah, no, I'm fine with Asian studies instead. So it's a double major. And I'm not allowed to, but I'm doing enough electives to do a Korean minor. So it's actually a very similar degree to mine. Huh. I hope they have a great time with it. If they have remotely as much fun as I'm having with my degree, they'll do well. They'll do well. Alright. Hey Minty, how you doing? Good to see ya. Ah, there we are. Hope you're well. You're back and alive. Good to see that you are indeed alive. That's always important. Don't want that to not be the case. How have you been? Yeah, get wrecked. Easy clap. Ah, no. That was still easy clap. Am I enjoying uni? I really love uni. I'm doing it because I want to do it, not because I feel like technically I have to for the degree, but I need a degree for a visa or 10 years of work experience in a field for Japan, and I'm at 8, so I don't have to do the degree technically. I could just work it out for another 2 years, but I'm having heaps of fun with the degree, so I'm okay with that. I'm having a real good time with it, really enjoying it. Like, yeah, when I went into TAFE when I first left high school, I hated it and dropped out. Now that I'm an adult, much like that, yourself, and able to like really focus towards it and have better learning strategies and things like that, way more fun. Way more fun. Like, I look forward to it. I plan it out. I'm not like, oh man, class. I'm like, oh, sick, class. Make sure I'm fully ready, practicing. I've got my iPad here, which I use for like writing practice. It's also cool. Like, I've discovered that the Apple Pencil. Sorry, this is like a bit of a off topic, but the Apple Pencil is really good for like rotating in your fingers. Like, it's like perfectly weighted for it. I don't know why. Oh, screwed it up, but yeah. But like, I can just do this all day in class and like be ultra happy and be like, yep, this is good. This is just fun to do. It's just really well weighted for that. So back into streaming because of birthday of webcam. Nice. What webcam did you get? Which webcam was it? Oh no, now I can do some more. 68. Yeah, it's like, what's the best thing about the Apple Pen? Oh, it's perfectly weighted so you can spin it easily. Yeah, with pacing, exactly. And the fact that it has like an insane amount of pressure control, and there's some really good calligraphy apps on the iPad. But most importantly, you can spin it good. So I only found it out like literally today. I just started spinning it out of boredom. I'm like, yo, this spins really well. What the heck? This spins amazingly. This is sick. Which is very stupid, I know, but you know, sometimes it's fun to take pleasure in the small things. Can't remember. That's fair. Doesn't really matter at the end of the day. As long as, you know, as long as it means you can have more fun with your gaming, that's the important part, for sure. Leave me alone. I'm allergic to hilichurls. You too. I see you there. Yep. Yeah, gotta do little things in life, like pen spinning an Apple Pencil. God, that Apple Pencil was expensive when I bought it. I'm like, what a rip-off. Mind you, iPads in themselves are a rip-off. It's all expensive. iPads, like, you know, it's an iPad Pro 12.9, 128 gig. I got the smaller size because I'm like, I'm not going to need too much capacity for the thing. I regret that. I wish I got 256, but oh, it's done now. It's one of the things you can't change. I have to pick my gacha games wisely, right? Pick my gacha games wisely. Apple tax. I haven't bought an Apple product in years. Go buy iPad, oof. Because I didn't want to take my laptop. It's like 8 years old now. And it still works. Still works a treat. But it's heavy and bulky, and I did not want to have to lug it back and forth to campus. So I was like, I guess I'll buy something smaller. An iPad will do. So I bought an iPad, right? And it was like, that's expensive. And it was also like, we're online for this year, this semester, and last semester. So I probably could have waited a year and potentially gotten the next model. But which means this model, like, there's always a, as someone who used to sell iPads for a living, many years ago, there's always like a 1 or 2 week period where you can get the previous generation iPad significantly cheaper. But you know, I enjoy that I have it now. I'm having fun playing gacha games on it and having it effectively as a 6th monitor. So I'm happy with it. But it's still very expensive. Like, it's still dumb expensive. That's just like a fact. It is dumb expensive. And you've like, I've managed to make it worth my while, but not worth for most people, I don't think. Like, you can get such a much better laptop for the price. But yeah, I wanted something specifically, I wanted something small. And I wanted the LiDAR functionality in the iPad too, which is like, it does have some cool, unique things like LiDAR functionality. LiDAR functionality, V cool. I wasn't paying attention to the immunities. No, it's fine. What an iPad playing with your piano. It started to fill up with apps too. Should put more storage. I want to learn piano this year. I'm waiting for, if you've heard of Lumi. Lumi is this really cool like mini piano, which is compatible with iPads. And I'm like, well, I got the iPad, I might as well get the fancy interactive piano for it. Hoping to, but they're not in Australia yet. You buy them for old time's sake? Fair. I'm very much firmly in the Android ecosystem. I was, because back when I used to sell electronics as a career, any Australians know the good old Dick Smith, I worked there till it sunk. I worked there for 9 years. I regret doing that highly, but oh well. The things you have to do when you don't have much money and you can't get out of it, right? Just lower class things. I did the whole Android. I tried every ecosystem. So I went from like iPhone 3GS to Samsung Omnia 7, Windows Phone 7, still my favorite phone operating system to this day. The Windows Phone operating system was mega freaking good, but it had no apps on it. So had absolutely 0 apps on the thing. So it died. It died a unholy death. But what it did have, and its social media power at the time, was unparalleled. It was freaking godlike. It was so good for that. It was brilliant. It was the best on show for social media. But it was basically worse in show for everything else. So it didn't really work out. But now I'm back in the iPad infrastructure. So the next phone I get will probably wind up being an iPhone. I don't know. We'll see. I have a smartwatch and I have like, you know, a Galaxy smartwatch, and I don't want to make that like lose functionality because I buy a different operating system of phone. We'll see how we go. There's also a good chance I'll just stay with Android. I mean, my phone is good. Like the fact, broken screen aside, which is annoying because like it's not like a crack. It's like the screen actually, the digitizer barely works, so the touch screen's busted, and like it's hard to use and doesn't type half the time. So I have to use it with my watch. So I need to get that fixed because I'm an idiot and I dropped it. But that aside, it's an S20 Ultra. It's the flagship phone from last year for Samsung, so it should last me 3-4 years. Worked in call centers for 10 years. I worked in government call center for a year. That was the last job I did before I got into game development. I got offered a game dev contract and got out of the government job. That said, that job paid well because it was government, and it was also really easy. And it also was all about interpreting, so it was really cool. It was like mega fun and interesting job, and wasn't hard either. I very much would spend my day on social media at the same time, and they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, social media at the same time? I'm like, just do the phone. I'm like, I can multitask. It's not hard. It's really not hard. I'm one of the best operators that you have. Let me do my thing. Call those ruin guards, right? Yep. Invulnerable to cryo umpire. Ugh. Can't be bothered with that one. Now I worked for TIS, the Translating and Interpreting Service, as part of the Australian federal government for a year. I didn't do interpreting myself, but let's say somebody who could only speak Arabic and they needed to call 000, there was an emergency. That's where people like myself would come in. I would get them onto the emergency services and get an interpreter for them and make sure it's all working and, you know, get the ambulance in places where it needs to go in a way. That was more what I did. It was a interesting and very stressful job. Very stressful job. Yeah, cool. We can ascend, but we're out of resin. But at the point where we can. Ooh, never mind. We haven't got enough of the flowers. I have not been collecting the flowers. I forget. Gotta go to Lever, get the flowers. Need the glaze lilies. I just need the lilies. From up, you can get like 4 or 5 a day. So we're not going to be ascending for a few days anyway, because I'm going to be locked out on that requirement. Oops. Damn it. Yeah, I worked at TIS for a year. It was interesting. I definitely have stories from there. Definitely stories. However, I don't know how long government NDAs last, so I'm just not going to talk about the stories that I am aware exist there. That's a glaze lily, isn't it? I'll get them anyway. Look at the NRS. Okay. The quality of interpreter of TIS varied a lot, though. Yeah, it was interesting. TIS paid the best, though. TIS paid the best, so At the end of the day, they were NADI accredited, so, you know. Although sometimes the more obscure languages, they weren't because none existed. Or it was like all you could get. You're like, what do I do? There's nothing to do. Just like, nah. That's all there is. That's all there is. There are no NADI accredited interpreters. We're just gonna have to make do with whoever we can get. And sometimes they sucked. Oh well. Yeah, good money's good money. You got paid, it was like $60 an hour to phone interpret. Then on-site interpreting was hundreds an hour. And now you might know why I am studying a Masters of Interpreting and Translation. Interpreting and translation is something you can do past retirement age. A lot of the Polish interpreters I used to work with were like in their 80s and 90s even. You can just do it. Like you're retired and like, I just want to make some money. I'll just do some phone interpreting for a bit. Yeah, and that's where I got, like, working at TIS got me my passion for language, actually. It's at that point I started learning languages more seriously. I was working there. And then finding out how much they got paid, and I'm like, oh, I should get my master's in translating. Oh, I should go, like, study interpreting. And then, you know, then I wound up in gaming and streaming development for 4 years instead. I was like, well, my life changed. And then I got cancelled. I'm like, well, my life is going back to the way it was. Back to learning languages again. Which I'm fine with. Yeah, like, I know when I was thinking, like, life direction, I'm like, what's a skill I can do past retirement age? And yeah, translating and interpreting is it. 100% can do it past retirement age. There should be some more over here. Plus, I think like language is a really good way to extend thought patterns, right? That's why I want to learn 5. My aim is to learn like Japanese, Korean, Mandarin, Russian, and then originally I was dead set on Ainu, but I'm not sure if I want to learn Ainu or Manchu. Like I want to learn a dying language, and both those like languages are like there's a lot less Ainu speakers than there are Manchu speakers though, so. Because all the other languages I'm learning, like all of them, all have some ties to Manchuria. So I was like, that might be... I should look into doing some Manchurian studies. Right? Are they like all relevant? It makes me ultra happy. Like I'm ultra happy. Like I'm studying 2 at once, which is... Okay, 2 at once is hard. So if your partner is doing 2 at once, like Japanese and Chinese at the same time, do please warn them that it's really confusing because you wind up like accidentally code switching to the wrong language, and like especially with Japanese and Chinese, kanji have the same meaning sometimes but not all the time, and sometimes the stroke order is a little bit different, and sometimes the strokes are slightly different, and it's like, whoa, it's gonna be tricky but doable. Definitely doable, don't get me wrong, definitely doable. It's just not, it's just, I think it's gonna be like, it's gonna be rough. Take it from somebody who's doing it, it's rough. Like, it is hard. But rewarding. Ultra rewarding if you can pull it off. Hums are tuned. Okay. What am I doing? I got the flowers for the day. I don't know any other places to get the flowers. Where else can you get those flowers? The, the Hu Tao ones. Where else can you get the silk flowers? Found, yep. Wangshu Inn. Okay. Wangshu Inn. It's mega fun. Language mega fun. Mega fun. And then I'm taking for Asian studies, I'm basically studying. So this semester, for example, I'm studying Japanese Intermediate 1, Korean Introductory 1, Contemporary Japan, so a Japanese cultural unit, and then Language, Culture and Society on the Korean Peninsula, so a Korean cultural unit. My next semester is exactly the same. It's a Japanese language unit, a Korean language unit, and a Japanese cultural unit, a Korean cultural unit. The rest of my degree is basically that, which is really cool. Although towards the very end, I might, because I can't get a Korean minor because I'm already double majoring, you're not allowed to. So I might switch to Chinese introductory right towards the end, just to like get some fundamentals from a university background. I think it would help me. I'd much rather do that and then self-learn from there. Well, yeah, right. It's interesting. Korean and Japanese not so bad because they share a lot of grammatical patterns, like a lot. Like the what particle, for example, like the particle system is identical. It's identical. Like when we learned like stuff today, like I go like "Irumi yogeyo," which means like, you know, what is your name? That irum is name, but is like main topic particle. They explain that and I'm like, that's just the same as Japanese. Has a what particle. It's literally identical. And I was like, oh, like once that clicked, I'm like, oh, this is going to be like still tricky, but the fundamentals are going to be significantly easier for me to pick up as someone who could already speak conversational Japanese. I'm doing Korean as an elective, yeah. Because my double major, like I'm majoring in Japanese, so I have to do a bunch of Japanese units, and I'm majoring in Global Asia. So I did Global Asia the first year, then I do a bunch of Asian cultural units, and then you have to do one introductory unit in a language. So that's where my Korean's coming in. So that one Korean unit counts, but I'm doing a lot more. And then I could do more, like, and then I am doing more, and it's enough to count as a minor. But you can't double major and a minor. So like technically you can, but it won't show on your academic transcript. It just shows a double major. There's no point. So basically it's electives. And I did one elective in gender studies last year as well, because I think gender studies is really, really important, not only for like gender acceptance sake, but also in language. I think it's important too. So I did a gender studies elective, which was mega fun, actually. Mega rewarding. It was an eye-opener. Like, I'm pretty open-minded anyway, but like it was an eye-opener in some interesting and unique ways, which I enjoyed a lot. What's over there? What's that? That's just sigils, look at it. I did an IR degree. Interesting, yeah. So we had international relations as a major option, and I wasn't sure whether I wanted to go for international relations or global Asia, as they are different. And they ended up with global Asia. It's more language focused. And I was like, that seems the way to go. I could switch, though, you know, I'm only in my second semester of my degree. I could switch to IR, but I'm quite happy with global Asia. The global Asia unit, like the very first year, and it's like a semester 2 unit, and because I was a semester 2 intake, it was like the first unit I did, was really fun. You see, there is sometimes like, I'm like, that'll turn into a treasure chest properly. Yep, sure did. Boop. Alright, sick. I've probably got all the ones in this area I'm gonna get. All those silk flowers. Don't think there's any more around here. Literature, yeah. It may not be. It may not be. Like, you know, if you're like up to speed on gender studies literature, probably wouldn't recommend it. As someone that was not, who's open-minded anyway, but wanted more like of a historical perspective and like how the gender equation in science works and how the gender equation in politics works and all that. Like, you know, it's pretty, if you're, you know, you've got your head in your shoulders, it's all pretty straightforward, but I still wanted to know like a lot more internal nuances, which I think you would pick up in academia or academic work. So it was, you know, a really cool elective to take. I wanted to take more gender studies electives, but I'm just out of electives, so I sadly cannot. Especially as, you know, I'm going for a master's, and especially for the master's I want to go for, which is a master's of translating and interpreting double version. So I do a year in Monash, and then I do a year at Kobe Gaikoku Daikoku, so Kobe International University. But I come out of it with a master's from both. So you get a double master's. But it means I need to focus really hard on language. Because you need like an 80, you need an 85%. You need something stupid high to get into that. Yeah, that's correct. Oh, yeah, that's basically it. IR is more geopolitics, which is also important. But global Asia, yeah, is more like, I also did a global, my other subject last semester was a globalization subject. It's all about globalization. It's actually sadly my least favorite subject because it focused on a lot of economic stuff, which I'm just not that versed on, but it was still a fun subject, which is out of the subjects, out of the 4 was my least favorite, but it's still good. But yeah, culture, language, history, literally doing like contemporary Japan, which is a Japanese and global Asia mandatory unit, and language, culture, and society on the Korean Peninsula, which is a mandatory global Asia unit, or a mandatory Korean. If I was doing Korean as a minor, it would be a mandatory Korean unit. So it all kind of like a lot of the subjects I pick are mandatory for the other thing, which is the other reason why it's actually really easy to double major in global Asia and like an Asian language. And it gives you heaps of electives spare because so much of it crosses over and counts for both, which I thought was sick. We need to do down here. Do another boss. Didn't realize I still have 40 resin. My bad. Let's go. Resin boys. We're going to do this, and we're not going to have enough, as I said, to get Hu Tao, but a lot closer now. Should be able to get there. If those flowers respawn daily, I think. So we should be able to get that tomorrow. And then you get another free pull. Which would be nice. Maybe we'll randomly pull another Monojute from a free pull. That's so dumb. But great, because it's such an important skill. Like, Mona is all about her Q. Her Q is one of the best Qs in the game. If not, yeah, like one of the best. Probably not the best, but definitely up there as one of the best in the game. So getting an extra 3 levels on that for free, I'll take it. I'll take it. It's an extra like 150% damage because it scales really high. Her Q scales stupid high. Alrighty. Boop, boop. Boop, boop. Boop, boop. Boop, boop. Boop, boop. Boop, boop. Ah. Boop, boop. Boop, boop. Boop, boop. Yeah. Ah, ow. Wasn't paying attention. Stupid, just having fun going boop, boop. Okay. Let's just do that. And then we'll do this. And then we'll do this. And then we'll do this. Still 60. Ocean is a pain to farm. Yeah, it's fair. I have characters now that make it a lot easier. With Ganyu, farming it's easy mode. And, with Hu Tao, actually, farming is also relatively easy mode because I practiced with her vastly underleveled and was still basically fine because she just vaporizes constantly. So I actually had a heap of fun with Hu Tao doing it instead, and with Zhongli. So basically, a new mob would come down. I'd Zhongli shield, I would Ganyu taunt, and then I would just go nuts with Hu Tao. So for me, Oceanid is no longer like difficult. It's become it's become easy, but you definitely need the right comp for it. And let's not, like, I have a whale comp. My comp has 3 5-stars in it. Alrighty. That's Asians at the time too. All the choices you had were good, yeah. That's just it. Like, you're definitely jaded because of it. Yeah, that was my other, like, concern. I'm like, oh man, it might, like, make me a lot less optimistic about things if I do IR. So I chose Global Asia instead. Because, yeah, I was almost went into IR. Because my 3 choices were basically double major in Japanese and Global Asia, double major in Japanese and IR at Monash, where I study now, or go to Latrobe and do Japanese over there because my bachelor, it's a BA at Monash, which I think is like, you know, it's fine. But at Latrobe, it would have been a Bachelor of Linguistics, a Bachelor of Languages and Linguistics, which is a lot more what I wanted. But I've heard that Latrobe's Japanese course is just not as good. Like, it's just not as good. The Monash one is basically world class. Like, Monash's Japanese degree is, if you go to a Japanese union, you're like, I studied Japanese at Monash. They're like, oh, so ka, maji de. Like, they know what that is. So it's kind of like it has it's Japanese and it's Korean class also are both like world prestige tier. So I was like, well, that kind of settles it for me. I should do it at Monash then. Yep. If their classes are that good that like nationals in those countries know the uni and know that class, then I should probably study it there. So I chose Monash. Even though instead of being a Bachelor of Languages and Linguistics, it's a BA. Because for me, it's more about what I learn is the most important part, right? Like, Monash's textbook for Korean is like their own textbook. it's a Monash written textbook. And I was like, that's intense. Like with Japanese, you use Genki, because most people use Genki. Although Western Australian universities use something different apparently. But yeah, for Korean, it's like a Monash written textbook. And I was like, it's like the third or fourth version. I was like, that's interesting. Where they're that passionate about it that they've written their own freaking textbook for the subject. I was like, geez, that's intense. Count me up. Sign me up. Yeah. Any junior reputation will proceed at the end of the day. If I go to Japan and be like, oh yeah, Bachelor of Languages and Linguistics, La Trobe, or I go Monash, Bachelor of Arts, Japanese, they're way more likely to be impressed by that. Although realistically, in Japan, I'd be like, oh, I have a double masters of interpreting and translation, one at Monash, and then one at Kobe Gaikoku Daikaku. And then they'll be like, oh, Japanese uni. Okay, you're fine then. So, which would be interesting. I don't need to get the masters. Like, I can get my visa with a bachelor's, but I'm like, might as well get the double masters. And you also come out of it being like Nati level 3 ready. And there's not many Japanese Nati level 3. They're mostly, the phone interpreters are all level 2. I've got that knowledge. So if I want to do phone interpreting for Japanese and I'm Nati level 3, I would get calls. I would get a lot more jobs. I think most of the level 3s do on-site, which is probably why there's like none for calls. Like, I just know that there's a demand for it. Korean's the same. I think it's like one Korean level 3 on the TIS system as of a few years ago. They're probably more now. But there weren't many. Oh, we got forging rewards. Forging rewards. How long Japan for? Probably permanently. I think it'll be a permanent immigration. And I would just travel around that area. Like my goal now, like gents they are, like I want to be like a travel content creator, but specifically like in the Asian region, like Asia, like APAC region. Move to Japan, easy enough for me to get to Korea, hence why I'm learning it. Russia's not too far away, hence why I'm learning it. China's not too far away, hence why I'm learning Mandarin. Like, you know, it's kind of like, I think I'll be very happy just in Japan. Demo, you never know what happens. Might wind up in South Korea. Might wind up elsewhere. Might wind up in like Singapore. Singapore's a great place to live. If you're a foreign expat. Specifically if you're a foreign expat. If you're like Singaporean, it's not as good. Foreign expats get a lot of tax dodges there. It's like a tax haven for foreign expats. Oh, alright, cool. We can level up her weapon some. With our weapon, I didn't change her weapon. Whoops. Now it's still on Crescent Pike because I was doing that for a video. I also made this for a video, like the prototype star glitter. Someone wants me to do some content on that today, so I got no money again. Damn it. It's fine. We will go and do that bounty I don't want to do because it'll allow me to have 20 more. Let me have 20 more. 20 more to equip. Yeah. Singapore is a tax haven. Rich foreigners love it. Yeah. Basically. It's it used to be way better for it. It's still really good for expats now, but it used to be like way better. Apparently. From what I've heard from friends of mine who live over there. Sword wielding characters. Okay. Involved a Cryo Empire. I need to change my party up then, won't I? Just a little bit, you know? It's all Cryo Empire. You spoil people. They are a little bit, yeah. I did, back when I was on Twitch, I wasn't, like, I have an IRL, like a gunrun IRL backpack. I did do IRL streaming for a little while. I did some in Japan. I did a fair bit in Japan, actually. I went to, like, Kamakura and did, like, a massive, temple walk with Zumi and a few others. So, you know, I've definitely done it in the past, and I want to do more of it. I've visited Singapore many times and I love visiting there. I'd want to live there because the fact that it has 4 official languages, and I find that interesting. You know, like the fact that I have to, you know, if you want to learn everything, you need to effectively, you know, like, you have to learn Tamil, which is really interesting. But yeah, at the same time, there are other countries I'd rather live in, but I would like, if I moved to Singapore, I wouldn't want to live there permanently, but I wouldn't mind living there for like a couple of years. I would quite enjoy living there for a couple of years. Korea is the same. I would enjoy living there for a couple of years. But Japan, I want to be a permanent migration. We'll see. If I wind up like, you know, the degree and stuff I'm doing sets me up for working for like Austrade or DFAT or something like that. Which is actually kind of where I want to go. In some ways. I wouldn't be allowed to make content though, which sucks. I wouldn't think. But basically, for example, but they always put you in places where you're not necessarily skilled. So I know one person who's like really high up in Austrade now. They speak Japanese and Korean. They were put in an Arabic-speaking country, and they had to learn how to speak Arabic. But it basically meant the government paid them to learn Arabic for 2 years, and then they did their like their 2-year stay there. I was like, "Yo, sick! I want to get paid to learn languages. That sounds amazing." Yeah, they specifically stick you like if you're working for government, they tend to specifically stick you out of your comfort zone, which is kind of odd to me, I think. But hey, if it works. Like, I'm sure there's plenty of evidence and papers to back up why they do that. They're more... Alright, cool. We'll change party in a second. Yeah, I wouldn't complain. I'd be like, sick. Sign me up. If you're going to pay me to learn a language, you can send me to any damn country you like. I'll take it. Gladly. That would be awesome. Get paid to learn a language. Alright, let's go find the Ruin Guard and then change party members. Guess we're going to have to, because there's no way I'm going to fight it with this team due to invulnerabilities. Yeah, right? I'd be like, what? Like, to actually just, like, being paid to upskill instead of being paid just to work? That'd be like, what? It's like mega interesting. It's interesting, right? Alright, this is my usual team, but we're going to change it up to you still... Honor, you, and the last character really doesn't matter all that much. Let's go with... you, because why not? We have no reason, it's just like, yeah, whatever, it's fine. Oh, nice, I remember so little about it, so let me know how it is. Oops, she's still dead. That's fine, don't worry about it. Two Q, 1 Q, E, 3 E, and then 2. No, also no. And then we should be able to do a bunch of shock damage here. And again. And then we'll just do some shocking here. Whoops. No, it's fine. We've got a shield. Don't worry about it. Just cop the hit. It's okay. Blender. Your blender means nothing to me. You're dead. That wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it'd be. Sick. Yeah, I remember like nothing about it, so... Sorry if it sucks. I remember enjoying it though. Let's go cash this in, and then we can level up a little bit more. Man, it sucks when you max the battle pass out and you're not getting like money out the nose. Hey. Alright, cool, sick. And I guess we'll... Technically it's a weekly completion, but I've maxed the battle pass out anyway, it doesn't matter. Congratulations, you've reached the max BP level. Sure have. Damn it. Oh well, here's what it is. We can level you up. Oh, we'll change our party back. Skew media, yeah. As long as you have fun with it, it's the main thing. Alright, let's do it now. My party was set as 1, 2, 3, 4. That wasn't the order, but it's good enough. I want to have the ice ones together. It was just longer, same. It is good that at least we get resin in it now. Like, at least they added extra. That was nice. That was nice of them to do. And I appreciate that a lot. I can add 30 more. 20, 31. Enhance. Boop, 48. Almost at 50. Crit damage up again. I definitely have the Aerosoda to do that, so that shouldn't be a problem. Oh, I need to do conversion. I haven't done conversion this week. I haven't done conversion. I can't for a day. I'm a day off. Never mind, I can't do conversion yet. Whoops. Upcoming more overflow for adventure, I think. Yeah, like, keep in mind, like, it's gonna take forever to get to AR60. Look how far I am at 55. And I play daily. Like, people who are complaining about being at AR60 already are people who are, like, maxing out their primos on resin every day. Every day. They'd have to be. They'd have to be. There's no way they could be otherwise. It's not possible. I have 7. I've got enough to get a pull. Just enough to get a... I think there are 2 people. Yeah, there's like 2 people there. I didn't even know that there was that. But yeah, like, I had no idea. Huh. Or I could get Mora. I could get 70k. I could get a pull. Or I could get 70k Mora. Honestly, I'm going to get the 70k Mora. Pulls will come at some point. It's fine. Alright, so we're going to do this instead. Because I want to get this weapon up. So more important than pulls to me at the moment is just like leveling up this character. And we have just enough to ascend, which is sick. Just need to go make the arrows right. Yeah, there's no way. You'd have to do that. Yeah. They mathematically require them to max every day and extra stuff. Yeah, to get to 60. You'd have to be spending like primos on resin maxed out like 6 refreshes a day. There's no way you couldn't. To be at 60 already. What are they going to do with extra Mora? I'm sure they've got heaps of it. Oh yeah, Island, that's how it goes. Like, my Ganyu is sitting there, like, you know, not perfect yet. My Ganyu is not perfect. They're close, but they're not there. I was going to level them up, but I pulled Hu Tao. And I'm like, well, I guess I'm focusing on Hu Tao now, aren't I? Oh well. Oh well. I didn't plan on getting Hu Tao and her 5-star on the first day. That was not part of the plan. The plan was to work on Ganyu and replace her goblet with this goblet, which is a perfect goblet for her. But it didn't happen. I guess I could just feed this into this, couldn't I? I don't have a reason to keep that one anymore. Unless I want to... Actually, that's not true. Unless I want to put it on Chongyun. My Chongyun's running Glad right now. And I could run... And I probably should run Blizzard Strayer instead. Because damage up 35, attack up 18%. This gives you 15% more cryo, so his E becomes better. And when this character attacks cryo, their crit rate's up by 20%. So realistically, I probably should switch. Especially as he's going to be changing his weapon from a crit rate weapon to Lithic Blade, which is an attack-based weapon. So I probably will actually save it. How many pulls it take? The character, Hu Tao, took 30. The weapon was 10. I got really... And I happen to have a lot saved up. I got really lucky. Like, really lucky with that. So I was like... Everyone in chat that day was like, what the heck? That's so dumb. And then I also pulled a Mona dupe on my normal pulls. With the... You know how you get the free pulls from ascending here? I got 2 here, and I've used those, and I got a Mona. And I was like, that's dumb. It was so dumb. Like, everyone in chat was just like, this is stupid. This is so stupid. None of us expect... That is why, to unlock this freaking guy... Let me show you my mobile game. That's why... To unlock, I get out of Zebensteiner, whatever it is. to unlock. Try to go into. I got it within a 10 pull, didn't I? It might have been less than 10. You know what I mean? I got it within a 10 pull. Like within the first 10. I always forget exactly how much. But yeah, that's why in order to get this guy, this freaking, you can't see it too well, but to get freaking, if you know your Tails, you know that's Yuri from Tales of Vesperia, I had to pull 280 times. All my luck was gone. I had to like pity in, let me just get back into PvP in this game. But to get to pity, like guaranteed pity in Exos Heroes is 280 pulls. It's ridiculous. There is no soft pity, there's no halfway pity like Genshin. It's just 280 pulls. And yeah, I went to pity on this. It was dumb. I was so cranky. I was like, come on, man. How many organs do I have to sell? $40 worth. I managed to grind 200. Again, I did an all-nighter last night, so I managed to grind 260 pulls of free pulls. Like 26 10 pulls I grinded for free. Because my account was still relatively early game, so I could do a lot of story and stuff and push through that way. I grinded a heap of free 10 pulls. I basically played non-stop for 2 days. With about 10 minutes left on the banner, I was stuck. I had no more ways to get money. I was stuck in story, so I had to whale the last 2 10 pulls. I'm like, I'm 20 pulls away from pity. I'm just gonna spend the $40. Give me my damn Yuri. I was up all night for this. 300 rolls. Woof. It happens. It happens. It happens. Defense percent. I better. Nice. Oh, what am I doing? I'm done today, aren't I? Can't think of anything else I can really do apart from like farming mats, which I will do for King Sins because I need them for Ganyu. No, I want to go down to here. Specifically that one. Yeah, 280 pulls to get Yuri. But I did get Flynn 3 times at the same time. So, and I also got a bunch of other really strong 5-stars during those 280 pulls. So it was actually like, you know, it was very well spent. I got some really good. I got like Shrafrukin like 3 times, which is really good. He's like my main character. But yeah, and I got Flynn 3 times from the thing as well. However, now Estella's out, so I've got to start doing the pulls all over again. But I'm not gonna. I don't care as much. With how hard it was to get Yuri, I'll be happy with Yuri. If I don't get Estelle, I'm not gonna wail for it. I don't care. I'm like, nah. And I only had gacha money because I got Hu Tao for free. I was like expecting to have to wail for Hu Tao, and I didn't have to. So I'm like, oh, sick. And then I was expecting to wail for the weapon, and I didn't have to. I was like, oh, sick. I'll spend the money on Exos Heroes instead. Oh. Good to know there's a Violet Grass there. Need them for Chin Yen. Any more on this thing? There. This is good to know. I didn't know that there were also Violet Grasses here. Just need to get them as well. Any more? Doesn't look like it. Let me get some Core Lapis real quick then, because I'm not going to make a Core Lapis video today, so I can farm them. Because I'm going to make another Hu Tao video. 10k so far. Nice! I'm going to, yeah. Today's video is going to be, does Hu Tao work with Prototype Star Glitter? Because that is a request I've been made. I've basically been like requested. I'm just going to make like, does Hu Tao work with this spear? Does she work with this spear? Does she work with this spear? Easy way to make content. 1 a day. Because they're 1-minute videos. It's a different video every time. It does take me a few hours. Just gotta script it up. Brr, I'm mad. Huh. Get wrecked. Get iframe wrecked. What's it like to be stuck in the air for all of time until you're dead? Ah, got you too. Still worked. You dead. Missed. And also, yeah, getting Chongyun C6. His Q is so much stronger now. Like, my Chongyun's Q. Like, see, even my Chongyun hits hard. But his Q at C6 is dumb. It is dumb how good his Q has become. Because it has it added like an extra 30% damage. What bow do I have on her? I have the Prototype Crescent, which increases attack by 45% as long as I hit a weak point. Yeah, so Proto Crescent, maxed out. Artifacts are Blizzard sets, HP attack, attack percentage, cryo percentage, crit damage percentage. Not all fully maxed out yet, but basically maxed out. And I'm gonna change that that goblet once I get a crit damage Blizzard helmet, because we got an even better goblet for her. But yeah, I need to get the other part so I don't lose the Blizzard Strayer crit buff. So like stat wise, because you gotta add a bunch of crit to that, right? You add like 20%, then you add another 20% for the artifact effect. So you add 40, then her ability adds another 20, so add 60, so 93.1. Then you add cryo resonance on top of that, so 15% more. So every hit of hers crits. Every hit is guaranteed. Basically, every hit's guaranteed to crit, and they all do 141% damage. That's why it's so high. We got really lucky with substats. We got a heap of crit rate substats, and that's what we needed. And that's my stupid Ganyu. And she still has a bit more growth potential left. We can get better parts for her. But I'm also perfectly happy with her as she is. I'm like, this is fine. My Ganyu hits like a ton of bricks. I just think Hu Tao's like hella cute. So I'm like, nah, Hu Tao's main DPS now. Hu Tao's main DPS. And I have other damage comps, like my Mona Official is really dangerous because my Official C6, my Mona C3. And my Mona has good items on her as well, so... Like, Ganyu is the closest I have to like a game-breaking character though, that's for sure. I got the ones from there. Let's go to Hu Tao. I'm gonna probably wrap up soon because I have to make a video. Hu Tao's ultra cute. She's way more cute in Japanese than Korean because I put her Korean voices on for a while because I'm trying to like listen to more Korean to be more used to it. And yeah, she's very cute in Japanese. Her Korean, she just laughs a lot, which is also cute, but not as cute. Yeah, C6 Official, very good. C6 Official, so good. I got my C6 Official really early. I just had like weird luck, and like I got C6 Official during the Venti banner. I had C6 Official for ages because like it's my first cat. I just kept getting Official constantly, and I was like, yeah, right. And then we found out she was like a godlike at C6, and I'm like, oh, sick. And then yeah, like in terms of my constellation characters, I have like C0, 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 C1 on Venti, which I wailed for because it gives him 3 arrow shots. C0, C1 on Kaching, I think. C1, yeah, C1 on Kaching. C3 on Mona, and Mona gets really good at C2. Because her C2 just starts adding free charge attacks in there. Her C2 is really good. And her C4 is also very good because Mona's good because of her Q. Just adds more crit chance, which is great. Although perhaps less useful for me because my Ganyu is already 100% crit. And of course, yeah, the C1 is also good because Hydra-related reactions are enhanced. Frozen duration gets longer. And then upon entering Illusory Torment, 60%, yeah, like this is like okay. Like her C2 is really where she shines. C1 and C2 are really good. And C4 is like okay, depending on how you use it, but normally it's pretty good. So like when I go to C3, I'm like, and her C3 is useful because she's all about using her Q. Her Q is really good, and giving it 3 more levels is like 150% more damage. So I really don't want to get any more Mona dupes. Like, I don't need any more. 3 is perfect. Give me dupes for other characters like Tatalia or Klee, because they're both C0. If it's an account, if it's like a time limited character, I'm happy with C0. C0 will do. Venti was the exception because I really wanted that triple arrow shot because the triple arrow shot's really good. Like yeah, it's literally just like fires 2 whole thing. Fires 2 additional arrows per aim shot, each doing a third more. So it just makes his charge shots do more. Also, this is good. His C2 is also really good. Just decreases physical res. Which is nice. His E is good for that. This 4's okay. Well, it's insane. There's I haven't seen them. I need to look. I have my restream working. Tomorrow, please remind me to get back on getting my restream like working again. Because I want to stream to Afrika and Bilibili because I can. Restream lets you do that. And I'm like, you know what? Whatever, it's fine. I'll just stream to all the platforms. Give me all the foreign platforms. I don't care. C2 Dad. But who's Dad? Who's Dad? Which character is Dad? Oh, Zhongli? Zhongli, because I call Zhongli Dad. Yeah, nearby characters, Jade Shield. I really would have wanted to get Geo Hobo Daddy to C1. I really wanted C1. C2 is also very good because it's just like a free shield, which is nice. Not as neat, but nice. C4 is also good. And C6 also good. Like for him, every for Zhongli, every constellation is good. Every single one is useful. No matter what, they are all, even the 3 and 5 for him are really good. He's like, there's not many characters, I would say, where every constellation is like a win. Like, oh man, this is really good. Zhongli is one of the few where every constellation is good. Like none of them, like they're all really decent upgrade and they're all worthwhile. They're all worth farming for. Like if there was a character, if someone asked me like, which character, if you could C6 a character right now, what would you do? Well, I'd say Ganyu, of course, but, you know, or like Tartaglia. But like them aside, Zhongli would be third. C4 Zhong is a C4 is really good. Yeah, I would see if you've got him at C4, I'd C6 him for sure. Yeah, great practical exam for my exactly right. Exactly. Good way to get a little bit of Korean practice in, a tiny amount with what very small amount I know. All I can say is, nice to meet you. My name is Brad. I study Japanese, not even Korean, at Monash University. Can't say much else. Why did I do that? They're Earth. They're immune. I also need to remember with Hu Tao, I have to do a charge tax because you don't get the DPS mark unless it's a charge tack. I keep forgetting about that. I wouldn't mind getting constellations on Hu Tao, but I'd rather get the weapons. I'd rather get the weapons. I'd much rather get an R2 star for Homer, R3 star for Homer. Also because the Wolf's Gravestone I also want. Like people are asking like, why are you pulling on a weapon banner now? And I'm like, Lithic Blade is really good. Lithic Spear is really good. Wolf's Gravestone is really good. And like every rate up on the weapon banner is godlike. This is the best weapon banner we've had. Hands down, in my opinion, the best one. Like it is one like I didn't think I'd ever wail on a weapon banner, but I very well might on this one. Yeah, that's they like Hu Tao's. Now that I understand more about her, I realize how important her C1 is, because her C1 means her charge attacks don't drain stamina. So you can charge attack endlessly, which is what you would do because it just keeps resetting the bloom. You'd just be like pop 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 pop. But I also have like 200 stamina. I got max stamina. It's not that bad. So because you would go like 1 and then basically you would go, oh god damn it, really? My example. Get down for a sec. I was trying to explain something with, there we go. Now I gotta wait. I'll just refield. And then, you know, like, you would basically go, because you can juggle. If you do it right, you can juggle back and forth. It also looks hella stylish. She's like, yeah, woo, 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 woo. Yeah, both weapons are worth going for. Both weapons are worth multiplying. And the 4 stars are also good. Like all the, like you look at the 4 stars. What are the 4 stars on it again? Fully. The 5 stars are both good. These 4 stars are both good. This 4 star I use on Kaching. This 4 star is also amazing. I use that on Mona. And the Sackbow is also like good. I just forget how I use that on. But Sackbow is also like, they're all good. The saddest one for me would be Sackbow. Any of these others are going to be like sick. And Lion's Roar, eh. But these 3 are sick. I really want one Lithic Spear. I want to do some testing with Lithic Spear. Because I run a 4 Liyue party. And my party's 4 Liyue members. Sackbow amazing on Diona. It is, isn't it? I think I have it on her. Yeah, sacked by one the owner. Can end its own cooldown. Which is like ultra good. Ultra good. I think I have a few of them. I have three. Which, yeah, I can end that cooldown way faster. So Sakura also good. Like, they're all good. All good. There is a high chance, a very high chance, I will wail on the weapon banner. At least like 10-20 pulls. At least. As long as I get, like, I want to, for me, less for Wolf's Gravestone, more I really want Lithic Spear. Because I run a 4 Liyue party and I want to see how that compares to using Staff of Homer. And keep in mind, Zhongli is also a polearm user, so I could put it on him. But I wouldn't because he's all about HP. But, that said, with the amount of attack you would gain with the Lithic Spear, maybe it's worthwhile running instead. It's something I'm really curious about. So I want to get multiple Lithic Spears, and if I get lucky, multiple staves. Like, look at the Lithic Blade, right? Lithic Blade, for those who don't know, if every party in the character who's Liyue, the character, including themselves, 7% attack increase and 3% crit increase. So in my party, it's 28% attack and 12% crit. Just for free. Currently, I have the Serpent Spine, which is just an extra, what? And that's at R3, keep in mind. So 8, 16, 24, 32, 40% damage. That's 40% damage, which is very good. That's very good. Whereas this is a little bit less. It's an attack increase. This is damage increase, which is just way better. And it's crit rate. But this is attack, so the damage goes up there, damage goes up here, and the crit rate goes up. So the crit rate here is negated. It's 27%. This one's going to give me 12% already. So I think that's going to be good. And I believe the Lithic Spear is the same. And I look at like Zhongli, for example, his spear currently, the base attack is rather low. But obviously it gives him a huge amount of health. And that's really important for other stuff he does. And slimes get wrecked. Who am I going to run? I already have it. I'm already running it right now. My party is Hu Tao, Zhongli, Chongyun, and Ganyu. This is my Hu Tao party. This is my Hu Tao party already. Like, I was like, wait a second. I should get the Lithic stuff. I already wanted, like, I did the thinking, I'm like, the best characters for me to pair this up with are all Liyue characters anyway. I should get the Lithic stuff. No, you're good, Alan. You're good, man. Like, I'm wide awake because I woke up at 8 PM because I did an all-nighter last night playing freaking gacha games. Didn't mean to fall, but whatever. What's it doing? Looking around for mats. That's right. We're still doing mats because we're just talking shit now, so. Max-wise, yeah. 44%, 28%, which is crazy high. At R5, that's huge. That's huge. Like, there is no reason for me to use Serpent Spine because Serpent Spine has 28% crit rate on its own. And more to actually, no, that's not true. Hold on. Yeah, that a healer for Hu Tao. I have shields. I have crazy good shield. I don't need it. Just shield. Heals up for ult, just shield. I don't care that much about it, frankly. As long as I keep my Zhongli shield up, doesn't matter. My first concern was that too, but I have to keep an eye on it because I've definitely died from stuffing it up before. Because it's not 30% of your max HP, it's 30% of your current HP. Like the gravity effects in FF. Oh no. Arcanite's so good. I have I played Arcanite religiously when it came out for a few months. I have most of those. 510 attack for a Knight Lithic Blade. So the attack is 200 higher than what he currently has on the Black Tassel. And then that gets multiplied by Lithic Blade. So I'm curious if it does more damage or not. It does. I have to keep an eye on that for mitigation. But realistically, his shields are so good, it's fine. He just tank hits. So I'm fine with that. I think this is like, that's why I chose this party instead of like, I haven't got Chi-Chi to heal, and Chi-Chi for Hu Tao I think would be really poor because Hu Tao's benefits all proc under 50% health. You need her under half health. So Chi-Chi's field heals constantly. Didn't like that. Zhongli shields though, so it's okay. It's fine. I just need to like make lots of food items. Keep in mind though, Hu Tao makes like you can get a 18% chance of an extra suspicious food item. So if you're making chickens, if I make like 100 chickens, there's a good chance I can potentially get on average 18 more suspicious chickens, and the suspicious ones still heal for a decent amount. So you just have to monitor with healing items, which I think is completely fine. And then for food, I just eat for crit rate. For food, I eat the delicious pile 'em up, 20% more crit rate, which just makes crits easy. And Hu Tao's crit damage is also through the roof because her main stat is crit damage. So. See, I'm very happy with my current party. I'm also happy because, like, the first character I really basically maxed out was Chongyun, then Ganyu. So I'm like, I can use all the characters I already worked really hard on now. Sick. I'm going to complete this just because I can. Sure thing, Island. It is pretty late. Get some rest. Thanks for coming in and saying hi. I'll catch you at the next one. It's like an ultra high base attack. That'd be great for Hu Tao. An ultra high base attack weapon would be great for Hu Tao because of her E skill, which is 400% of base attack. Just no skill, ultra high base attack. I'd be okay with that. Ability effects, yeah. So I think, I'm not sure which is going to be better or not there. I need to kind of figure it out. It might well be that Serpent Spine is still better than Lithic Blade. I think it probably is. There are ups and downs to it though. So keep in mind with Serpent Spine, if I get hit, I lose a stack. So I need to like not get hit to keep my stacks, right? That's not gonna work. That's a big downside with that. But I think stat-wise, it's probably still technically better. Bennett would love that. Let's look at this, like, every 4 seconds, I need to wait 20 seconds to get full stacks. But, I think the damage on this is going to be just better. I think. Because it's not dealing more attack percentage, it's just dealing more damage, which is a different kind of measurement, and is significantly stronger than a percentage attack increase because it scales differently. So I actually think, yeah, I think the buff's attack percentage goes stonks, of course, but obviously there's diminishing returns. This is a different kind of measurement, so I think Serpent Spine is still going to be better than the Lithic Blade. Actually, I was going to chuck Lithic Blade on Chongyun, but I actually think that I might keep Serpent Spine. Now that I think about it, I'm not sure. I've got to figure it out. Maybe, actually, probably not. Actually, no. No, I wouldn't, because if I get the switch, if I go to Lithic Blade, this is going to be 50% attack here, and then 20 something here, and then the crit rate increase. Yeah, Lithic scales beforehand, Serpent after. But I actually think no. Now that I'm thinking about it, I forgot about the base, the main stat. Lithic would still be stronger. It's just adding another 50% attack. I think Lithic would still be stronger. It's something I want to test. I'm going to have to get them both to 90 before I can test that properly. But now that I remember that part, I think Lithic Blade's the better choice. Don't know how much buy, and I could be wrong. I'm no good at maths. I'm not a math streamer. I'm not a statistician. I'm no good at Excel formulas or Google Sheet formulas. But I think Lithic Blade will be stronger. Because, yeah, it's so much more attack percent. And same refinements. That's be the hard part. That's the hard part there, yeah. Yeah, Lithic has the substat, and its substat is attack percentage, which is big. Gotta pull more Lithics. Yeah, right? Hey, I'm okay with that. Give me R5 Lithic. It's a shame that the Lithic is banner. This banner is a event exclusive banner. So it's gonna be. That's the other reason why I want to pull hard in this weapon banner, because I don't know when the Lithic is gonna come back. They may not for a while. Their event only pulls. So if you want him, you gotta pull from this banner. And they're stupid good. I definitely want the spear. But I'm also completely okay with Widsith dupes. Yeah, that 3-star catalyst that gives you 50% attack extra, I think it's Emerald Orb. I have that on Sucrose. at the moment. What's my bonus with that? R3, yeah. And like 90% attack up. 90%. 90% for 10 seconds. That's so dumb. Yeah, they probably will, Mint. You're probably right. I hope so. I really want to get Lithics. They're really good. Like, I'm definitely going to be pulling on nothing but the weapon banner. Like, as much as I want Hu Tao C1, I would much rather Lithic R5s. Much, much rather. Any day of the week. Give me the Lithics instead. There's just so much more versatility with those. So much more versatility with the Lithics. It's kind of a no contest, if you ask me. That's why I'm willing to potentially wail on the weapon banner. Like, no matter what, this weapon banner is just a good one. It's a good one, no matter what. Maybe I should do a video about that. Like, this weapon banner is like the best weapon banner we've had yet, and here's why. Because it really is the best one. Character banners, yeah, true. True, but these weapons don't. The Lithics don't, and the 5 stars don't. So, or the Staff of Homer doesn't. So you have to pull on the weapon banner this time. Can't get around it. But I could do a short on you. Here's like this weapon banner is the best I've had in Genshin, and here's why. I might script it up tonight. I'll think about it. I'm gonna write it up. Okay. Need to remove my cloud lifter. My housemate loves closing doors. And it makes it sound like he's not, but it makes it sound like he slams them on mic. You guys probably hear it every time. Like, he moves the door the slightest. Boom. It's not actually that loud. My cloud lifter just amplifies the sound a heap. I don't need the cloud lifter in there. I've got a Go XLR. It can handle it. Cloud lifter's not required. I just haven't taken it out yet. I don't want to feel like I've wasted my money. Could get Diona C6 in the weapon banner too. True. What's my Diona at C2, I think? Mine's at? Oh, C3. Sick. Yeah. Staff of Homer works on basically any, like, almost all the spear users, and there's the Lithics. And then the Wolf's Gravestone works on, like, any GS user. And then the Widstith is also good, and the Sackbow is also good. Like, it's just an insanely, yeah. It's an insanely good banner. It is a brilliant banner. Hence why I want to do a video about it and be like, it's the best banner. It's the first, like, you know, if you're ever going to wail for a weapon banner, it's this one. Here's why. Like, finally a weapon banner that, you know, is worth spending money on. I don't think any other weapon banner has met that yet. But this one does. This one totally does. That's why I probably will. I wouldn't mind. Yeah. Dupe 5-star, Dupe Starves, Wolf's Gravestone. It's all good. It's all good. All the rest of stuff's good. On that note, it is 12:04. We've been live for what, like an hour and a half? I'll get started on my next video, which is Hu Tao with this weapon I've not leveled up at all. The prototype Star Glitter. I need to think of a build for this. If you want to help me think of a build for this in chat, in the Discord, I'd love to like quickly bash out some ideas as to what might work. This is an ER weapon. So it's all about, yeah, true. They're like the worst ones, only apply to a small amount of characters, but they still apply to characters. Like Sackbow is great on Diona. Lion's Roar's great on Kaching. It's what I use it on her for. Or Pyro. So it's also not bad for Bennett. Also works on Bennett just fine. Like Bennett is good. Kaching is good. It works on a couple of characters. But yeah, I need to think of this like a good build for this. It's not a good weapon for her, but I want to think of like what's the best build I could make with Star Glitter. It's all energy recharge. It's all energy recharge. After using an ES, increases normal and charge by 8% for 12 seconds. So that's bad because the cooldown on her E skill is 16 seconds. So you can only have one stack. So that's unfortunate that like you're just going to miss out on that. It is a damage increase, not an attack percentage increase. So it scales at the end, which is important to note. And ER is good. It just means she's going to constantly have her Qs, which is great. I can't think of anything else. Like, what artifacts would pair well with this? EM, I guess. No, not EM. What would you pair with this? It just makes her generate recharge more so she can ult more frequently, which is nice. Dot scales of charge damage. I do wonder. I don't think it does. Let's check. It's elemental skill damage. It's elemental skill damage, not charge damage. So elemental mastery scales it. Elemental mastery scales it. So I would probably say, yeah, most likely, as boring as it is, like 4 glads. You'd run 4 glads. I don't think you'd be worth running. Oh, no. You would run Lava Walker still, because Lava Walker's 35% more pyro, and she's using it. This is all about her using her E skill and her burst frequently, which is pyro damage. So you would run Lava Walker on this. You wouldn't run glads. I wouldn't think. You could run glads. Would scale reactions about the damage itself? Yeah. Elemental skill damage. How's that scale up then? Just scales on attack percentage, hey? Or pyro percentage. So, yeah. I would probably just run Lava Walker again. Lava Walker, sub glads, I think would be the best way to go. And just like, you're going to be hitting Q a lot, and the Q does pyro and heals. So you don't need to worry about HP as much. You can worry about attack percentage. You would kind of just go attack heavy. I think with Prototype Cycler, you just go attack heavy for the build. You definitely wouldn't be looking for ER as a artifact item. I wouldn't think. I'm gonna go wrap up now because I need to use the bathroom anyway. Let's take this theory crafting to the Discord because I'm gonna write the script up tonight. So, and then film it tonight, and it'll probably go up like 4 or 5 in the morning, and then I'll go to bed. I have no classes tomorrow. So I can settle that. So please help me script this out. Yeah, at this point, yeah, at this point, I would be like, it's not really worth it. You're probably better off using a 3-star. Yeah, could be shared with another. I would say it's just one of the worst in slot, unfortunately. I'd be like, yep, this is the best you can do. You're probably better off using a 3-star. What do the 3-stars do? I forget. What do they do? Let's see. Normal attacks deal an additional 320% attack as damage once every 10 seconds, like Halberd. Okay. White Tassel. White Tassel's actually probably not going to be too bad. White Tassel's like is crit rate and normal attack damage by 50%. You're probably, especially as you're going to be using your E skill, and E skill's all about mashing normals. Or actually, her E skill's about mashing charge. That's not good. You're probably better off running Black Tassel. Black Tassel gives HP, and for her that's big. I would just run Black Tassel, I'd say. Black Tassel, yeah. Discord, let's talk about it in Discord. I'll see you all in Discord, but if not, I will be streaming probably Genshin again tomorrow because we've just got a bunch of Hu Tao content to make. Sorry, Honkai. I'll play Honkai off stream. We'll figure it out. I'm definitely gonna go to bed because my housemate started laughing like crazy, and that's really loud. That's annoying. I'll catch you all probably tomorrow. Or on Discord now. Let's get this video sorted and I'll get it out tonight. And then we'll work on why the weapon battle was good. Let's do it. Bye.